barked with hard eyes. There's no coming back from that. Bogard had his body cam off since God Valley.
He ran from Imu like a punk. Shanks could never.
Because Shanks works with them! Don't say rage bait incoming already. We just started.
Will you play Bounty Rush today?
Agendas, frankly, are your personal vendetta to further a character's popularity and further defend a character on the internet.
Make me.
What the Hold up, you was low-key riding that shit. Anyways, okay. I have prepared and found an agenda slander tier list. This is kind of what we're looking at here. I have also added some of my own down here, as you can see. If you would like to add any yourself, I would be open to it. Little backstory on me. I am caught up to the anime. I am an anime only. Episode 1150, not a big deal or anything. Watched it today. So that is the perspective I'm going in with this. Oh, I did miss Usopp. We definitely need Usopp in this John. Okay, first we need to establish how things will be ranked. So we have peak agenda, strong, mid, weak motion, and fraud. Basically, a strong agenda is when there's a lot of backing to whether a character has an agenda or is slandered. For example, Sanji. Sanji's slander agenda is basically the meta right now. It has gone so far that Toei themselves are on the Sanji slander agenda. Now, the Sanji agenda, I would say it's nearly as strong because Sanji does have good moments, but he does not get anywhere near the agenda itself. He barked with hard eyes. There's no coming back from that. Next up, we have Garp. Garp's slander, to me, is probably one of the most misrepresented. You guys have seen the memes. Kobe, lock the gates, the slaves are escaping. The drums of oppression. Exactly. How much factual evidence is there for Garp's slander, though? Maybe a tiny bit because he works for the government. I'm gonna put it in weak motion. Chat, how do we feel about the Garp agenda? We don't need facts for agendas. We just need more people convinced. I like the way you think, Mundaiko. Give that guy a raise. Let Ace die. Yeah, he's got quite a track record, Garp. I'm gonna put the Garp agenda in mid. I think Garp has a lot to provide, and I think Garp's slander is mostly just hearsay. You know what I mean? Mihawk. Oh my god, Mihawk and Shanks are right next to each other. Shanks the rat. Shanks the rat for me is in pink agenda, or it'd be Shanks slander is in peak agenda. Guy's a loser, a rat, had to take out Kid to pad his stats because he was too scared to do anything else. Literally too scared to act whenever Kaido and Big Mom are active. It's just like, the list goes on and on and on.
Jack, did you know you had these?
Chat, please refrain from using TTS to piss on me. Careful, Jack, he might snitch on you to the Gorosei. He's a fucking rat! Shanks agenda. What do Shanks fans even have? Not much. 10 minutes of combined screen time, 2 feats, and
Egg boy.
2 feats in 1150 episodes? Doesn't have much. I have to be unbiased when I'm talking about these. What do Shanks fans have? They have Wi-Fi hockey.
JackTheBus. 皆さん、こんにちは。
So now 02's pissing on me.
あー。
Shut up! I think Shanks fans have some to tell. I think he is a way overglazed character, but he has a couple of cool moments. That's it. I think overglazed. Now we'll go into the even more overglazed. Mihawk fans, you need to get your life together and find a new favorite, all right? Dude paints his blade black. That's the running theory. I think Oda confirmed it. Mihawk slander is very strong. We are doing good. We are doing great, frankly. Gorosei agenda and Gorosei slander. After Egghead, I think it's pretty strong to slander the Gorosei. I specifically added Mars to this list and Nostro because I think there's actually a wide range here. I think Mars slander is in peak agenda and Nostro slander would be in fraud. In fact, I should flip these. Nostro is doing his damnedest. Mars is taking a leisurely walk to find the transponder. There's a difference between these two, but overall, Gorosei slander is strong. All 5 5 of them together are not accomplishing much in the egghead incident. All right. What do they have? A cool entrance, a well-animated episode. We'll put it in mid. It's kind of the same way I feel about Shanks. Kaido agenda. I'm something of a Kaido enjoyer myself. I think if you look at Wano as a whole, he took on everyone and their mother. All right. I also don't think he's dead like they want us to think. I think you really have to see a body in One Piece. I'm putting Kaido agenda in peak. What slander do Kaido antis have? The fact that he lost to Luffy, kind of. I just think it's weak. I think Kaido's slander is really weak. Beats his kid. It's just like, you know, we've all been there. Captain Eustass Kidd, aka Jika. I mean, you guys know how I feel about this. I think if it's not gonna be Luffy that claims the One Piece, it will be Captain Kidd. I think it's set up the Cinderella story for Captain Kidd to make a comeback. Kid agenda is strong. It would be in peak if he were active right now. Kid is Himothy.
Useless mid.
Get a new joke. Anything. Find one new joke. Use those 2 brain cells rattling around in your fucking skull and come up with something new. Kid slander is weak. Exhibit A, that text to speech. Kid slander is very weak. Yes, he did lose to Shanks, but it's just low-hanging fruit. That's really all it is. It's low-hanging fruit. It's
Useless Z mid.
It's for people that have no creativity in their brains. Shanks didn't even beat Kid alone. He had to have the giant step in. That's the craziest part. The funniest thing about this is this tier list spawned. Green Bull does not even have an agenda tab.
Under DC.
Oh, good one, man. That was so funny. Green Bull.
One taped by Shanks. BTW.
Okay, you don't know how to spell tapped.
Useless cum-filled mid. And his civilian casualty bolstered bounty. Useless D mid gets soul by that dog in episode. For TBH, I can't be biased, he said.
Anyways, guys. Green Bull is probably one of the worst characters in One Piece. I would say Green Bull slanders in peak. Bro just sucks. He really does. And I don't know if I've ever met a single Green Bull fan. If you know one, chat, don't point them my way. Point them in the direction of a mental institution because they should be locked away. Buggy agenda and Buggy slander. This is where you're gonna make me mad. If you're a Buggy fan in chat, say aye. All right, there are way too many of you. Sabrina Carpenter Gaming. Let's get the Euro agenda. What the?
Buggy one-shot Useless Kid.
Buggy does nothing. Buggy is Crocodile and Mihawk's bitch currently. So I don't know where you're pulling this from. Buggy agenda is pretty mid. I think they don't have much to go off of. Buggy agenda solely rides off of vibes and vibes alone, which I get a little respect for them for that.
Buggy falls upwards. He will be the king of the pirates.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's so mindless. Like, you're just saying that. Buggy's slander, on the other hand, I think is pretty weak because he is an enjoyable character to watch. I just think the amount of like...
Buggy has a higher bounty than Useless Captain Mid.
That's not true. Somebody fact check that. Jamie, can you look that up?
Jack has many bad tier lists, but this one might take the cake. Where's the Mont Blanc cricket agenda?
There's no way there's a cricket agenda. Anyways, guys, shut up. Blackbeard agenda and Blackbeard slander. I love Blackbeard. I think he's a really entertaining character. I think his character design is awesome. He's being set up to be this villain of the show. I don't think it's in peak because he doesn't get enough screen time for it to be peak. But I think Blackbeard agenda is very strong. Blackbeard slander is just trash. Like, he is literally being put on this pedestal to be a final piece in the end game. The only thing you could slander him about is like the fact that so many fights are off screen, but he genuinely has the crew with the most motion in the show. Like, it's not even close. Luffy agenda, Luffy slander. I mean, like, what Luffy slander is there? I know some people don't love Gear 5 and they think it's a little too BS. I think it's ridiculous.
Mission is to slander Luffy.
No, it's not possible.
Mission impossible.
It's not possible. We're joy baiting. Luffy agenda is in peak. Law agenda, law slander. The law slander you could bring out is maybe like his stamina bar in Dressrosa, or losing to Teach despite having a significant advantage in terms of his placement and his devil fruit. But law has carried far too long. I think law slander goes into weak. So I think you could say like a tiny bit. Law agenda, it's pretty strong. He got cooked though by Teach. Beppo's the only reason Law's alive, frankly. And he hasn't even used like one ability yet that allows him to make someone like invincible for life. Oh my God, you're right. Law made up his backstory so that people would feel bad for him. You're so right. I'm putting it in strong. Does anybody have an objection? I forgot about that fact. Kidd gave Law his backstory? Oh my god, Kidd agenda's in peak. Wait, real! Akainu agenda, Akainu slander. Akainu slander is low-hanging fruit. There's not much to slander him off of besides sitting at his desk all day. That being said, it might be low-hanging fruit, but it is still really easy. Yeah, listen, if you're on the Akainu agenda, like, I don't fully blame you. It's kind of like being a fan of Ace. There's just better characters. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm gonna put a Kainu agenda and fraud. It's just lame. Like, who's genuinely raise your hand in chat if you're rooting for a Kainu. Like, even if you like rage baiting, it's not even fun. Law said being a woman made him weak. Really? This is new information I was not privy to. All right, Sabo agenda, Sabo slander. Sabo agenda is strong. He's actually doing something useful with the flame fruit, unlike someone else. And Sabo slander is so weak. I feel like Sabo has made 0 missteps. And bro even just showed up in Dressrosa for fun. Like, you know what I mean?
Sabo is the embodiment of a fraud. He ran from Aimu like a punk Shanks could never.
Because Shanks works with them! Shut up! I'm muting TTS for like 10 minutes. My brain needs like a fucking cooldown. You guys are so dumb. Sabo slander is so weak. Like, he's made few missteps. I'm gonna move Teach slander up 1 because he might actually be a file. I don't know. Sabo slander is so weak. Like, there's not much you can do there. Kobe agenda, Kobe slander. The Kobe agenda I think is really mid, solely because he doesn't get that much screen time. So like, you don't get to see his progression. I have a war with my chat on this on a daily basis. I think Kobe's development is so just like, you just never get to see it and it's kind of uninteresting. Kobe slander? Chat, his strongest move is called honesty impact. Like, how am I not supposed to slander that? That does not send chills down villains' spines. Yeah, I think it's easy. I think it's easy to slander. I don't have a problem with Kobe personally. I think if he had gotten more screen time, his agenda would be stronger. And maybe more feats. Chat, what feats does Kobe have? Besides, what was the Rocky Port incident that we still don't even know what happened? Dragon agenda, dragon slander. This might be the lowest hanging fruit. You're saying his feat is sweeping Alvida's deck. Oh, no, that's true. I mean, it is a feat to work on Alvida's crew and not be bricked up 24/7. I'll give him that. Is Dragon Slander peak agenda if it's low hanging fruit? He genuinely is AFK. It's just easy. Then it's not even fun. I'm gonna put it in mid. Now, Dragon Agenda, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I just don't. Mike. I mean, he didn't always have it. He saw it in the flashback with Vegapunk. You might be onto something. I'm moving it up 1. That's some strong slander. So supposedly, there has been this decade-long debate about Admirals versus Yonkos. Akainu, Kizaru, and Kuzan, the OG3, versus Big Mom, Shanks, Whitebeard, Kaido. I feel like I have to be the voice of reason that it's not even close. I feel like I have to be the one to say that, like, yes, the Admirals have like AoE? Chat, what did Kaido say? Hockey is king. Did he say that after trying to make an entire army of devil fruit creatures? Yeah. Fuck, maybe Kaido was wrong. I mean, Admiral agenda is cool. Like, I love the Admirals for the most part. I'm not a big fan of Akainu. I think he's kind of boring. But I like Kuzan. I like Kizaru. I like Isho a lot. I'm gonna say Admiral agenda's in mid. Admiral slander is pretty easy. I mean, Green Bull tanked this in Wano. I don't know what Admiral like Glazers were doing the day that chapter came out, but it was probably like 10 9/11s for them. I think there's some strong slander towards Admirals. You combine Akainu sitting behind a desk, you combine the Green Bull incident, you combine Kuzan quitting his job. Yeah, by the way, Kuzan beat Akainu in Punk Hazard. Oda was wrong. Anyways, Zoro. God help me. Dragon made it rain in Logtown so we didn't see that he broke a sweat to early smoker. Yeah, Dragon Slander's going to peak just for that. Thank you. Thank you. You guys know I'm a Zoro Glazer, something of the sorts. He's the rock of the crew. Luffy wouldn't be the same without him. Zoro fans are permanently eating, bro. It's just how it is. I'm in the department that Zoro surpassed Mihawk a long time ago. He's racist. I can't put him any higher. I'm kidding. Zoro slander? What's there to go off of? Odin, lend me some hockey. Chat, just because it was Odin's blade You got a point there, twin. That's some mid slander, though. That's about all you got, no? He fought Luffy. Okay, that was Oda's problem. That was Oda's problem with writing in Whiskey Peak, if that's what you're talking about. He said he would never lose again, then lost against most people he fought early on. Who did Zoro lose to after saying he wouldn't lose again? Arlong, Enel, Moria's Spiders, Kuma. The Mick delivery deserves a spot. What is this? What is he delivering? A Happy Meal? Food to Luffy. Jesus. Chad, the waters might be shifting here. New information has been brought to light. So can I tell you how much I love the fact that this is from Bounty Rush art? Yeah, this is actually driving the Admiral slander up. Yeah, that's pretty strong. That is strong. Big fan of the Mr. 3 agenda. Big fan. The fact that we now see, especially in Egghead, the Giants and how strong they are, Mr. 3 was kind of out there doing it on his own. I don't care about no Miss Golden Week, all right? Mr. 3 was out there fighting the Straw Hats and the Giants. I think he has a good case for himself. If he ever wants to get back into the main story, I'm right there with him. Vista. Now, the Vista agenda solely bases off of one scene against Mihawk. I think we need to take a little trip over to the anime to rewatch that scene, because I'm pretty sure that's literally what all of this stems off of, is the fact that he held off Mihawk. Let's see. And the fact that he's just a random Whitebeard pirate that did it. Wait, here's a feat. Hang on. It's like, chat, is this not child's play now? Like in the grand, like, yeah, he likes, that's like his party trick. He did it with Dawn Krieg's ship. It's just a cheap party trick. What did this actually do? No, actually, what did this do in the grand scheme of things? Nothing. Like if you're gonna glaze Mihawk, you have to glaze Vista equally, no? Like this was a relatively even fight. Mihawk knows his full name and title, so he's made a name for himself. I think Vista would have to go wherever Mihawk agenda is. Oh fuck. Okay, they're both gonna go in weak. Only because that's the only... I'm moving Vista up because he's a side character. He doesn't even have writing behind him, yet he's still clashed with him. Mihawk is still top 3 characters. Yeah, I bet you eat bread and 1 slice of ham for lunch too, buddy. You're that milquetoast. We can't blame Mihawk for not caring about a fight. You're just telling me he lacks passion. Bogard had his body cam off since God Valley. You can't just make stuff up. Yeah, chat, where do I put Bogard? This is the agenda I frankly don't get. What has he done? What does he do? Bogard gave Rayleigh his scar. Bogard one-shot rocks. Bodyguard. Just a wave of liars. He aura farms. I think it's the fact that he hides his powers, and the fact that he is still Garp's right-hand man puts it in mid at least. But I need to see something substantial for it to be in strong agenda. It's just, I don't get enough. He has 0 arrests and 1,000 kills. He is Emu. Bogard's Emu's son, I just can't prove it yet. Like, you guys make these little theories based off of nothing! Ben Beckman. I think Ben Beckman agenda is pretty weak. Weaker than Shank's agenda for sure. I don't think he has that much motion. I really don't. I think you're gonna care about like a sniper or someone or a sharpshooter. I'm looking at my goat from the Blackbeard Pirates, twin. What am I supposed to do with this? What? Beckman beat Kidd. That's just not true. Did Beckman take a limb from my king? Yes, but it just made him stronger. So Captain Kidd probably purposefully lost his arm in order to better himself like Iron Man. He's just that smart, bro. And that's why the Kidd agenda is easy to be a member of, is because he has that battle IQ. I think Emu's got some weak motion for being this presented as not all-knowing, but I feel like Emu spawned in with like a 99-0 lead and is actively throwing day by day. The fact that it took this long to see Luffy as such a threat is unbelievably silly. I get that she has ruled over for a long time, but the number of missteps that I'm seeing in real time, I think you could have used the Elders better. I think you could have used Vegapunk better. Just actively throwing. Moria agenda. Hey, listen, anybody that wants on, it's too late. Gecko Moria. Guys. What other character is going into the beehive of pirates to rescue their crew. 99% of your faves are not brave enough to do that. And I hate to be the one that break that to you. Gecko Moria is a ride or die. Peak agenda. He's a goated villain. He has one of the coolest forms in the show. It's just how it is. He's not ride or die. He's just die. Usopp. Usopp is the worst Straw Hat, and it's not even close. 99-0 lead to the closest Straw Hat. No development. 1 feat, maybe 2 feats. Brother peaked in Water 7 as a character. I'm praying he dies at the end of One Piece to bring his character full circle. Would you cry if he died? Of course. I'd be really sad if he died. But the way his character has gone, you can't just say kill in all caps at JackTheBus. Chopper. Now, I wanted to include Chopper. This is technically a slander, but there's someone in my chat that genuinely believes Chopper is like evil for leaving Wano and not curing all of the Smile Fruit users. I think that's ridiculous. I think the whole thing is like, once you have the Smile Fruit, like what can you do? Like there's no cure for it. And also the fact that Chopper is still actively working towards the goal of being the all medicine, you know, the one medicine. I just wanted to include him on here. I'm not even gonna put him on the list because I just want to talk about how BS that is. And if you believe that, you are just trying to slander for the sake of slandering. Join one of these in the peak agenda and experience what true slander is. All right. You know, I included Jack on here, but I don't, it'll just make me sad. And chat's gonna say I'm rage baiting. I think Jack the Drought is kind of cool. Chat, this is it. This is my One Piece agenda tier list. It's quite perfect if I do say so myself. In fact, I'm gonna move Kaido's slander into fraud. I think Kaido's kind of the GOAT. I don't think there's much you can say about him. That being said, would you agree with my list? What slander or agendas did I miss? Leave them down in the comments below. Guys, how did I do? Once again, you can't just type my name and say kill.